Hey everybody, it's Mark again. I'm the Crazy-Eyed Reseller. Just did my first video a little bit ago, and now I wanted to just take out a few things that I got today from either a thrift store or from an estate sale. My first estate sale I've ever been to, even though I've been thrifting for over a year. I've done a lot of the thrift stuff. Here in Utah, we have a lot of what they call Deseret Industries, or DIs. Very similar to a Goodwill, but probably a little bit nicer. Do a lot of good job in cleaning the merchandise, making sure it's organized. It's good stuff, generally speaking. You still want to always, of course, test the electronics when you can, but DI does a really nice job. We do have Goodwill here, as well as Savers, and then there's a few other small kind of mom and pop type that I go to, and I've had some good luck as well. But again, I also did my first estate sale today with my sister, and I spent about 35 bucks, but I got a couple nice things. Sorry for running out of the picture. One of those was, and it was the last day of this estate sale, so I think they're pretty much just trying to close up, get rid of stuff. So we probably got a good deal. And I got to be careful here, but, so this is the actual box, and it actually is what it says it is. It's the Orchard Crystal party set, and it comes with, I'm going to clean these up. They're pretty dusty, but they're vintage. 4 glasses that look like that. Hopefully you can see those well. Again, I'll clean those up. And then they're in the box a little bit down. Let me pull those out. Apologize for this. I probably should do this a little bit different way. This is, again, I mentioned in my earlier video that I'm learning to do this and how I want to do it. And sometimes you got to learn as you do it, right? But I'm probably not going to retape and do all that. I'll post them and I'll learn as I go. That's all. In addition to that, then there are 4 of these little plates. And I believe that the cup will, thought maybe the cup would sit right there, but it kind of goes somewhat like that. But I did look these up already. They'll go hopefully for about 20 bucks plus shipping. So that pays for a lot of what I spent today. Just right there, just the one item. So very pleased with that. Let me put this back. Another item that I got today, and I'm going to post these tonight on eBay. You know, when you go out and you buy stuff, it's kind of a treasure hunt, right? That's part of the fun of doing eBaying. It's you know, the work part isn't always fun, meaning the packaging, the staging, the cleaning. You know, that's not all that fun. But I heard that the guy who I follow, I actually don't even know his name, but he goes by Taco Stacks on YouTube. Great, follow him, good stuff. He does garbage and picking. He does some storage unit buying, but he's really down to earth. He goes through it, just really good one. So I definitely look up Taco Stacks, real good. But he mentioned in one of the ones I was listening to yesterday, day before, that the money you make from doing this type stuff is really the time and effort you're putting into it. It's not the item. It's the effort you're putting into it, because it's work. This is not, you know, you go to a storage unit and you buy it and everything's great. It's not that way. He makes that clear, and he shows us that way. You know, when you buy something at an estate sale, or you go to a thrift store and you buy, one of the things I'm going to be selling are some of the pullover hoodies, right, from different teams and stuff. Kind of because Taco Stack said, hey, that's a good item. And it does seem, and I like those too. But if you buy it, one, sometimes it may not sell. That's just how it is, right? That's just how it is. You also will have sometimes people return stuff for one reason or the other. You may buy something, it looks great, you get it home, you're staging it kind of in your tent. By the way, let me show you that. I kind of have one of those right here that I'm actually looking at, so I bought this. I'll talk more about this in a later video, those types of things. But then you find that it has a stain on it that you didn't notice at the store. Oh, man. So, you know, do you take the time and effort to try to get that stain out? Or do you trash it? Do you redonate it to someone else? Whatever you might do. But again, some different things. So here was the first one, though. This was from an estate sale. So let's say if I spend 35, I get 20. Well, that means I've only got 15 bucks to go to kind of at least break even. One sec. Apologize for being out. of it. I do have my little dog in here, my little Shih Tzu. She's with me as well. Her name's Sophie. And you may hear her grunt. She doesn't bark too much, but she does grunt. So here's the second one. The lady was really nice at this estate sale and wrapped this up for me. I'm also a big birder, meaning that I love to watch birds, especially on the East Coast. I'm in Utah but I love the songbirds and just birds in general. Just fascinating to me. I like bright colors, that type thing. So I'm having a hard time getting this open. Can't chew gum and talk at the same time. So one of the things I found at this estate sale, I'm just going to undo this because she did wrap it up nicely for me in some paper, but I've got, of course, to stage it. I've got to take pictures of it then and get it posted. And this is something I want to do tonight. Unfortunately, I hope this bag is not making all kinds of noise. I'm going to try to do better, again, as I go down this journey, hopefully you guys with me, of the noise, having like a little microphone, all those type things. One second, just throwing that away. So she had down in their basement of this estate sale a pelican, this brown pelican, and it kind of looked like a cookie jar. And actually, that's what it was. So I'm going to show it to you here in a second. I'm just taking all the paper off, so again, I apologize. And I'm going to put it in my my photography tent. Again, I do photography on the side and for enjoyment. I just love photography as well as the birds. So those really go hand in hand very well with me. So that's been a good thing. So let me just put that on there. It's definitely ceramic, as you can hear. So I'm going to pick up my phone and then turn this around. So this is basically a pelican. It's ceramic, but it's a cookie jar. So I guess this is how you grab it off, and sure enough, it's nice, right? Looks clean. I mean, I'll do a little bit of cleaning. I'm not sure if that's a stain or if that's just kind of how it was made. I'll see. I'll be careful with it, of course. But it's cute. She said it was from her grandmother, so in the 60s. She didn't make it, and I've seen a couple others, but I didn't see really anything on it when I did my first glance of like who made it, where it was made, or anything of that nature. But I'm going to clean it up a little bit. But I just thought that was cute. And I looked online after I bought it. I just thought this was cute, so I just bought it. And I've seen 3 or 4 sold in the past week or so. Here, I'm just going to put you back down there. I've sold 3 or 4 of those that have sold probably in the last couple months for about $25 to $40 plus shipping. And so it's important to me, especially something like this, that I'll wrap it really well, probably in some paper. Then I'm going to bubble wrap each piece. I'll actually put some paper down inside the one. Even if that adds a little bit of weight, it's important that when you do ship things, that they get it the way that you wanted them to get it. Otherwise, they're going to want to return it. It's going to be broken. And I've done that in the past where I thought I was not being cheap, but I was. I thought I was trying to be efficient, was probably a better word, where I'll create my own box. Well, guess what? It got there damaged because I didn't do a great job on the boxing. The Postal Service did do their part, and it was priority mail, so I got like $50 to $60 back from them, and it was okay, but the customer wasn't happy. You know, I had to do extra work. So it's important just to make sure when you ship anything that you package it correctly. Don't go too cheap. It's better, if you want good feedback, make sure things arrive the way you do it. Make sure they're clean. Make sure when you're posting things that you take good pictures. Be honest if there are any cracks. And again, I'll look this over. This is just that top. I mean, I'm going to clean it up a little bit. I'm not going to like repaint or those type things, right? I'll see if anything kind of cleans up, but if I do see any bad spots, I kind of point those out. If there's any cracks or major chips, anything like that, I try to make sure, and I'll even put a picture of that. Because if you're honest when you do it and they still buy it, well, okay, you were honest about it and they know, right? And I think that goes a long way for a long term. And to me, I have to live with myself as well. So that's me being true to myself there. But anyway, that was one of the second things I got. I do want to show one more, so bear with me one second while I set this down. I have to think where I put it though. So hold on one second. Sorry everyone. I'm also, like I said, I'm gonna do a couple videos, and I've watched quite a few people do some of this. By the way, let me just pull this over. So here's some other stuff I got today. This was all for this $35, right? Different things, but this is what I want. It's not the box itself, this Halloween box, but I'll put something in there. So let me get those out. And, ooh, too bright right there. Let me get them out, and then I'm gonna kind of put them in my light box here, and you can see that. And I'll put the camera over. These were on a shelf they had downstairs, and I don't know. I saw on Facebook later. Again, sometimes if I like something, I just think it's cute, I'll just grab it. A lot of other times, I do actually look it up on Facebook, or excuse me, not Facebook, on eBay to see, hey, what's it worth? That type thing, right? I mean, that's why we're doing this, is not just for fun. It is, but we're also doing it for money. So let me just put these in here. And I thought these were cute. So let me set this aside. But these are these little schnauzers. They're it's like a band leader, this big one right there, and he's got there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 other schnauzers playing different instruments of some sort, right? Looks like one's playing, the second one looks like it's playing again, not a violin, but like the big violin, what's that called? I can't remember. One's playing a drum, looks like one's playing like a band type tuba, looks like another one's over there playing a little guitar or something. So just different things. I did end up looking, try to pick these up. Oop, don't drop it. I ended up picking these up, and on the back it says Seto, or Seto, S-E-2 Japan. So I've looked these up, and I did see a pair where they were doing the same type animals, but they were elephants versus this schnauzer look. And I'm gonna pull you around here. Sorry about that. And those also sold for about 20 bucks. So again, I think I can get something of these. Dog lovers, that type of stuff, I think will pick these up. May not get big bucks for them, that's okay. And a lot of times when you're selling stuff on eBay, I'm not looking for $100 profit on things. That's just not what I'm after. Typically, to do that, you've got to have a lot more investment in one item. Okay. I don't want to, again, as I mentioned earlier, I'm trying to get at least $10 profit on anything I do. Sometimes I don't, but that's kind of my base starting point. So that's what I'm doing there. So one other second, I'm going to show you one other thing that I bought some time ago on a thrift store. And it's one of those times that sometimes you buy things, you don't know exactly what they are. And you know, a lot of times these thrift stores, there's quite a few other people looking around. So if you really think you want something, you have to put it in your cart, or at least hold on to it. Some thrift stores will have like cases, glass cases, where it's locked, you know, for security. They think some things might be nicer. And these things happen to be there. So bear with me, apologize. And I know you're gonna think that, so this literally was kind of how they were in this shelf area where they had it. They were locked up, so you had to ask to see them. And if you look, to me they look like chess pieces. So I'm just gonna grab the phone again. I'll put them in the light box here for a second. So to me, they look like chess pieces of some sort, right? Again, what you're seeing in the plastic bag is kind of how I saw them. But here's what was so cool. So I get them out, and the bag was very heavy. And there were about, I think, 28 of these in here. And I'm going to take one out. And I'm going to take a couple out real quick. Show you a couple different vantage points. And this is probably, this is not the best thing I've ever bought as I've been doing this. But this has definitely been one of the better ones for sure. Let me get this one here. Oh, this is terrible. All of a sudden, my nothing's working for me. It's because I'm actually videoing. None of the other time, these things would have opened up and done what I need them to right away. Okay. So let me move the big bag aside. I hope that I'm not saying too much, but I'm sure I am. You don't realize it's one of those filler words as you're doing things like this, and if you're not perfectly comfortable, we kind of do or ohs or whatever we can kind of just to fill the conversation. But anyway, so let me show you these. There are about 28 of these again in the cabinet or in this bag, and there we go. They are Gianna Rose. It's hard to oh, there we go. And they are basically a seamstress dress, right? They're made of pewter. They're not very big. You can see that with my fingers, they're not all that big. But what was really cool was they open up. You can see that one that's open. And they're pin holders. At the time, I found one of these online where someone had tried to sell one for about $50. And I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm making a royal fortune because the bag of all 28 cost me $5. I think it's because no one really knew what they were. I didn't know when I paid the $5, but I was willing to take that chance in that case. I've sold a bunch of these. They're kind of cute. They're collector's type things. They might be used, but I typically sell them for about $10 to $12. And when it only cost me basically a quarter each, that's a pretty good markup. And of course, I only had to do one posting on eBay for all of them and just up my quantity, right? So that was really easy. They're easy to ship. I probably still have 3/4 of them. So it's kind of a unique item, but so what if I leave it on I almost said Facebook again. If I leave it on eBay for a while, over time they will sell. I've got a few watchers on them. Sometimes I'll make them an offer for like $9, and some people will bite and some people don't. That's okay. But these are the fun things, the treasure hunting part. But I still have to clean them, and I do that. I kind of clean them off with a rag. I don't use chemicals or anything because you don't want all of a sudden, mess something up. But I try to clean things. Again, still have to store them for a while they're waiting to be sold, package them up, that type of thing. But again, you can make some good money using eBay. I have not used the other ones like Amazon. I know some people do. I do, again, as I think I've mentioned, for some items, I use a local kind of newspaper, TV type internet place called ksl.com. Kind of like a Craigslist, but it's pretty easy. A lot of people in this Utah area use that. So if it's a big item, whether it's heavy, something of that nature, I actually sold some snowshoes, and they sold on KSL very quickly. So that was better than trying to do those on eBay, right? Because they were 24 inches long, thick. It would have been quite a bit of money for shipping. So, okay, selling them on KSL made sense. And they went pretty quick, too, within like 2 days. So I was pleased with that. But again, it's fun. That's what you want to do, I think, this for, especially if you're doing this as a second income. It's not your primary. Whether that is for vacations, to reduce debt, to buy yourself something, to pay for Christmas presents, whatever it is, you can make money here. Realize with that said, there are going to be some things that you don't make money with, right? You're going to buy something and you think, oh, that's definitely going to go, and then it doesn't. And it's almost kind of, as weird as it sounds, it's almost like a roller coaster ride doing this eBay thing. There are times, man, you're on top of the world because you found a few items, and that thrifting part, the hunt part was phenomenal. You just great stuff. And sometimes you're selling stuff. You're selling 5 or 6 things in a week, and you haven't posted much lately, right? So, it's good stuff. It's things maybe you've had. You're making a couple $100, and then all of a sudden it's the opposite. Because you get so high, all of a sudden the low can be really low. It seems like you bought something, you paid a little bit more for it, and it's not selling, right? Or it never sells. Or you're just not getting anything selling at all, right? I mean, there's times I go maybe 2 weeks and no one buys anything. Who knows why, right? I mean, it just happens to be weird times. So if you're going to do eBay or thrifting and selling stuff online, whether it's eBay, again, which is what I use, whether it's Amazon, whether it's Poshmark, whether it's Etsy, different things have kind of a different focus on how you're selling it, what you're selling. All of them, I think, can be good. Again, I'm sticking with eBay for now, other than the local thing, right, through KSL. But you need to kind of just stick with it. Don't get too hyped up. Don't get too down on if it's not selling. It's a longer term type thing. I think that's one of the things I would tell people. If you're just starting out with eBay and you want to do something, you can do it, but there is some work, right? And you also have to spend a little money to gain some money. So realize that as well. But anyway, so that was kind of some of my treasures for today. Appreciate you watching. Again, please like this video. Please subscribe to my channel. I'm brand new at it. Hopefully I'm going to get better. Hope to. Will do. But come on this journey with me, and we'll take care. See ya. Bye-bye.